Nicolas Kuhn could be leaving Celtic this summer, but the big question is, how much money can Celtic get for him? Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. Money talks, bullshit walks. Will Kuhn be walking away from Celtic, or will he be staying at the club? That we don't know, but how much money is it going to take to get a player the likes of Nicolas Kuhn? We did a poll last week talking about Raskin and his potential value. Now we're going to do the same thing about Nicolas Kuhn, because those look to be the two players that could be leaving for big money this summer.
Could be. He got rid of his wisdom teeth. He found a bit of form. Did he get them back after Bayern Munich? I don't really know, but I tell you what,
He's a bit toothless towards the end of the season.
He was a bit toothless, but the first couple of months of the season were extraordinary, weren't they? They were good. They were fantastic.
I think that that period that he had at the beginning of the season might have been better than Maida.
Yep, but Maida was more consistent over the year, over the season. But then that is the problem with Kuhn. It's like, whoever's signing him for 30 million or whatever, 20 million, they're not going to be like, well,
what one are we getting?
He's been shite for 2/3 of his Celtic career.
Yeah, and for me, that's why the £40 million that some Celtic fans wanted was never a realistic ask.
Yes, now if you were selling him in January, then
I still disagree though, because I just don't think he'd performed at a high enough level for a long enough time.
40 in January than 49.
Yeah, but I just don't think he'd performed well enough for long. It's not like you say. It's not like he just came in that summer. He'd been there the previous year and did not impress at all. So I never thought that those 40 million estimations were legit or even reasonable, to be fair.
Yeah, 40 million. Who's going to be hyping up Lennon Miller a lot? Like, if Lennon Miller goes to Celtic or Rangers, maybe that could do it. But in terms of Nicolas Kuhn, we'll get into it. I mean, 1.2k votes, that's great.
Will we ever see a player? I'm not going to say never, but I still think we are a long time away from seeing a player leave Scotland for 40 million plus.
No, we've got to realise, though, it's not even about our league. Look at look how much transfers have went up across Europe over the past decade. If Premier League player, like Furtz just signed for Liverpool, that broke the Premier League record, right? 116 million. See, in 10 years, they'll be hitting 200 million. So naturally, we will just be getting more for players, and that's how it works.
I don't think we'll see it before 2030.
No, I don't think we'll see it before 2030, but I think when we are stone cold, 6 feet under.
Well, obviously, I'm hoping not to be dead over the next 40 years, so I'd like to think that that would break then.
See Hearts win a title or two.
Well, I mean, I'd probably settle for a cup at this rate, wouldn't I?
Probably selling James Wilson 40 million.
Anyway, with reports suggesting that RB Leipzig are offering 15 million for Celtic's Nicolas Kuhn, how much is the winger actually worth? We'll put up 4 options: 30 million or over, 20 to 29 million, 10 to 19 million, and the under 10 million category. So, in first place, people are going, 42% are going with between 10 and 19 million. And to be fair, that is bang in the middle of the reported £15 million that Celtic have been offered by Red Bull Leipzig, or at least the offer that Red Bull Leipzig are considering to make. So I'm not surprised that's the option that's won the poll. I reckon 15 million is about fair for Nicolas Kuhn.
Yeah, I think 15, 16... 17, 18, somewhere in that ballpark. Absolutely.
I think he showed enough qualities to be valued at around that amount, but I don't think he showed enough over a period of time to suggest that he's worth more than that. I mean, he could be worth more than that, but he's not proved it.
What you got to bear in mind is Celtic are bringing in Nygren for 1.28 million, right? Let's be real, Nicolas Kuhn, outside of the purple patch, which was unreal. Can Nygren replicate that? Like the poor form of Kuhn, you'd like to think he can do that in a wee bit better. So if you sell this guy for 15, 16, 17 million and bring in a guy for 1.28, that's a great bit of business. That's the perfect business model.
I've seen some Celtic fans say they believe that Kuhn was disappointed that he never got a transfer in January and that's why his form dipped. I mean, is there any truth to that, do you think, or is that a coincidence?
So, I mean, it could be a year at the club and then he's just tucked his tail and went, well, fuck you guys. Because honestly, ever since the Bayern Munich game, his arse went. Couldn't be arsed.
No, agreed.
And that was, the back end of February, I think. So,
Second place, we have 20 to 29 million. 26% are saying that. Third place, we have under 10 million. 25% are saying that. And in last spot, we have 7% of people saying 30 million or over. I just don't think that's a realistic amount.
It's not. Now, if he continued it across the whole season, potentially. But, no, not for me.
There's only one Celtic player I think at this moment in time is really valued at 30 million or over, and it's Dyson Maeda.
I'd agree with that. Dyson Maeda on fire.
I like Katati, but I don't think he's got long. He hasn't got that long left, isn't he? Not on his contract, and he's what, 27.
And naturally, midfielders go for a bit less, don't they?
Yeah, than attacking players. So let's get into, what do you agree? Do you agree with the majority here?
I'd say about 16.5. There's mine.
16.5. So you think RB Leipzig need to add 1.5 million onto that?
That's it.
Figure.
Fair enough. 17. There you go.
Let's see what the comments are saying though.
What are you saying?
I've already said I believe 15 million is a bit fair.
There we go then. In the same ballpark.
Guetta Grip, he'll go for 21 million, no doubt. It's a very specific amount there. I mean,
I did say 16.5, didn't I though? I'm not going to bash this guy for 21.
Yeah, if he said no doubt. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Kuhn went for like 20, or I wouldn't be surprised if he went for 10. I never said, 15 million, no doubt.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see, because apparently Leipzig are waiting to appoint a manager for the sign anyone. Boo1023 Boo says, again, just like Raskin, 10 to 15 million, played very well in Europe, but any scout with eyes would be able to see there are better tooled players at his age and profile. Maybe you could squeeze 17 to 18 with add-ons. Is that a bit fair? That's what around about what I said. Same as Raskin. I think they're both in the same ballpark, because they're not. It's not like they're 19. You know, they're getting mid-20s.
Yeah, Liam Medium says 200 to 300k max. I think that's Adam Adias value, not Nicolas Kuhn.
I'd say that, so
Mary Hinge, very tough to say, 25 years old, started at Leipzig, poached by Bayern Munich and failed to make the grade. Ajax took him, he failed to make the grade, moved to Austria and was impressive there, followed by 6 months of very quiet at Celtic, 6 months of being the best player in the league, followed by another 6 months of being just about good enough. That's probably a fair, statement. Unquestionable talent, but if his head's not in it, maybe his head's no in it.
Maybe his head's no in it.
Matthew Mells for just a throwaway comment that means nothing to me. Like
2 or 3 dwarfs, is that what he's worth? Tell you what, man, it must have took a hell of a lot of restraint for that guy to not mention Rangers in that comment. So,
got to applaud him.
Fair play, Matty, man. See the pressure on him pressing fucking enter, man.
I'll probably be a comment further down saying Hun or something, so I wouldn't get too far ahead of yourself. Sean Sound Design says, I feel like he just ran out of steam towards the end of the season. Not surprising because he put some shift in, especially in Europe. He's worth 20 million easy. Would you pay 20 million for him? Rangers have got this £20 million transfer, Kitty. If you were offered Nicolas Kuhn, whole budget on him, would you take that?
No.
No, well, there you go.
But see, I think with Kuhn, it's interesting because, as the guy pointed out earlier, he's not in the best form right now. It's like there's a lot of recency bias across the world and everything, not just football. Nico Raskin, right here, right now, is the best he's been at Rangers. Nicolas Kuhn's best was back in November. Yeah. Some people, the clubs are going to factor that into evaluation if you think it's right or wrong.
LS67HH28 says best winger at the club and in the country, as the stats show. He has to be a solid star player. Price 21 to 23 million would see him away. Regardless of anything else, only output matters in football. And his is the best. Is he the best winger though in Scotland? I mean, is he even the best winger at his club?
I'd say it's Maeda.
I know Dyson Maeda was playing through the middle, but I still consider Dyson Maeda to be a left winger, and I would take Maeda over Nicolas Kuhn.
What about Ravi Matondo? Is he not the best winger in the country?
Probably not, no.
What about Oscar Cortez? No.
Probably not, no.
Jokes, folks.
Baldy Cock's not being funny, but that doesn't say much. He had 36 goal involvements in a single season, one every 91 minutes. Name a winger other than Salah putting up those numbers. If it was easy, every winger, regardless of league, would be doing it. But Maeda was doing that until he got moved through the middle.
He was indeed.
Yeah, who cares about England? There we go. Only Ronaldo has Salah's numbers. It's just I couldn't really have a shite about Salah or England, to be honest. Celtic 1888, Jinky, away and have a chug over a Premier League badge. We don't give a fuck about the English game.
A lot of people are called Jinky, aren't they?
Aye, £30 says Albert Bryant. Belfast is red, 350 million at the lowest, I think. Bargain.
I think he must support Cliftonville. I believe if Cliftonville get through the next round, they take on Shamrock Rovers.
Be a good wee tie, wouldn't it?
In the Europa Conference League.
Gary says bang average player in the SBL could go up for £2 million, but 1.2 seems more reasonable. Michael, first half of the season, Kuhn pushing 20 million easy. Right now, I'd be buzzing with 10. I agree with that. I think that's about right, actually. I think in January could have went for way over 20 million, but now I think...
I don't think they'd be buzzing with 10, though.
No, I wouldn't be buzzing with 10, but I think 10 would still be a reasonable amount if you sold them as a profit.
Aye. A big profit.
The fan Pablo says he's a 4-4-2-4-5-1 player. If we get 15 million, then I'd give Yang the chance to deputise for Forest.
Yang and Forest.
Yang's never going to cut it, I don't think.
No, if Celtic sell Kuhn, man, right, and
they just replace him with
Yang and Forest, you'd be worried. No, that's no good enough for the Champions League.
No. Sean Feeney says better than Raskin by a mile. Your thoughts on that?
Is he?
I don't know. Gerard Nelson says never put a shift in after the new year. Take what we can get. Liam Neal says 10 bob. Jay Keane says much you want to bet this poll is just an excuse for these two to make a video complaining about Celtic fans because their last poll said Raskin was worth less than 10 million. What about the fact this poll is just to make a poll to try and get a gauge on how much people think Kuhn's worth? Not the first poll we've made on Celtic. It won't be the last poll we've made on Celtic.
Yeah, Keane, so get it right around you, son.
I guess that Brendan Rodgers poll was also a dig or something.
No, it's funny though, right? I couldn't give a fuck what people say. I love the comments, right? But are we just supposed to sit here and take abuse and not get stuck into people when we make these reaction vids? You know what I mean?
So what's your thought on the comment then?
Well, we're not. This poll was put up because Leipzig put a bid in and we were intrigued to see what the audience and the subscribers thought Nicolas Kuhn was worth. I couldn't give two fucks what way the last poll went.
Yeah, this guy's suggesting that if the last poll says that Raskin was worth like 25 million plus, this poll wouldn't be getting put up.
It would.
So, I mean...
We'll see who goes for more.
John says in today's market, top 5 leagues have infinite money. Worst players than Kuhn go for 50 million. Hey, I'm not saying they don't, but they don't come from fucking Scotland.
Yeah.
They don't come from the Scottish Premiership. Jax Brown, 5 million, not a penny less. I think you can get 5 million, I would say, definitely. AR says sell him for 15. His attitude and lesser games stink. He's not get the attitude for Celtic. I think 15's about right. Gorgas for Congress, probs about 10 million. Pato, Celtic need players who are committed in every game and have the stomach for physical side of Scottish football. A lot of people aren't really... Celtic fans aren't really too impressed with him.
They're not. I guess he did switch off a bit.
Mark McCann, he's a bottle job merchant who shits himself. If it starts getting a bit nasty, I'd sell him for 5 million. DM says
5 million talk.
Massive mistake even considering selling him. He will improve again at squad depth and quality, so I need to start building and stop selling.
I think Kuhn's too good to be on the bench.
Stephen Barr says take the 15, he's pish.
Do you not agree though? Do you not think in Scotland to have somebody on the bench, and this isn't even like another dig at Adam Adair because he just shouldn't have been bought. I just believe that
I know where you're going.
The players that are bought for like 10 million,
yep,
and that are worth 15 and 20 cannot be on the bench.
No, they can't. The Scotland, you don't have that luxury in Scotland. You cannot be a squad player or be the second choice if you're costing 10 million or if you're valued at like 20 million or anything like that. Yeah. It's just not fucking possible. No. It's just not. So, yeah. It is what it is.
And it's like, I think in a position, right, where you've got one of them, like with Kyogo and Ida, I think in an ideal world, Rodgers, when he signed him, probably thought, he kind of hinted at the fact he thought Kyogo was going in the summer because Kyogo wanted to leave. But when they signed Adam Adair, they probably wanted, you play that game, he plays that game, and you both fight for the position kind of deal. But in reality, what it turned into be is what Kyogo's starting every game. And then it turned out to be Maiders then playing for Adam Adair. You just can't afford to be having a gap. It's like, see Nico Raskin, folks, right? Say he picks up a knock for 3 weeks, right? At the start of this season. And Diamande, Bailey Rice, and Lyle Cameron play ahead of him. We can't, even if they're playing so fantastically great, we can't sit here and say, well, you know what? Raskin's great, but I know people are coming in for 20 million, but you know what, we need to keep him on the bench and we need to actually just keep him. You need to cash in.
I think that's one reason Eder's actually got as many chances and as much game time as he's got.
Yeah.
Because he costs that amount and you're almost like forced into giving him more game time and more minutes. See if Adam Adair had cost like £1 million, I reckon he'd have fallen behind John Joe Kenny.
No, but like,
in the pecking order because he's that shite. But you do feel forced into playing people because they cost money.
Adam Adair is the third highest transfer in Scottish football history.
He's the second highest in Celtic history. He might be the third.
Flo. Right, so he's the third. The third highest transfer in Scottish football history should not be on the bench. So for the same reason as if Nicolas Kuhn was to be sold for 20-25 million, he would be like the third highest fee received behind O'Reilly and Tierney, or whatever he would go for. Could be closer to Batty or whatever. They can't be on the bench. The league's no making enough money.
100%.
It's like, we always talk about the Premier League, but it's like Man United have signed like guys like Anthony and Maguire for 80 million. Look at the hate they get when they're on the bench and no playing. Because 80 million to them is probably like 10 million to us.
Yep.
Well, easily fucking probably even worse than that, to be honest. So, aye.
Anyway, I think 15 million's about right.
Yeah, in that ballpark.
I mean, it is prime at Celtic. He looked like he could go for more than 15. But his prime's not lasted the full duration of his Celtic career, and at times he doesn't look like a decent player at all. So I think 15's a bit fair. Right. Anyway, that's it, guys. Till next time. This poll would have got made either way. Just point out there again.
Aye, stop greeting.